The exact diction definition of wealthy is Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Matt from Webbing. Here at Webbing, talk about health, wealth, relationships, and so much more. Here we're going to talk about wealth. What is the definition of wealth? If you look it up in the dictionary, it'll say a state of prosperity or a abundance of possessions or money. Wealth is different from me to you to the guy next to you. Wealth is different to everybody. For me, it's money. Let's be honest. I grew up not well off. It's always been something that I thought would make me happy. Money can't completely buy you happiness. I mean, it can make you real comfortable and get you out of some sticky situations. But that's why in today's video we're talking about how to get wealth from nothing. Steve Jobs said it best. Everything changes around you when you realize everything built around you was built by people not smarter than you. You'll be blown away by how many, I mean, we all sit here and think about ourselves and judge ourselves extremely harsh. Sometimes more than our worst enemies. But it's true. There are people in power that are not smarter than you. They are not better than you. They are not faster than you. They are not anything more than you. It's just a matter of finding what they do and doing the same exact thing. Everything that you could possibly imagine has been done, created, thought, imagined. I mean, obviously technology is growing, evolving, but like everything has already been done. So don't try and reinvent the wheel. Just find out whatever your dreams, your goals, whatever your definition of wealth is. Find someone exactly who's doing it and just do exactly what they did. I mean, find their book, because they probably have one, right? If they're wealthy, they have a book. And just mimic it. Do his daily routines. Just do exactly what they do, and I promise you, you will get yourself there. Maybe, I mean, obviously there's a little bit differences from what you want and they want, but if you do the daily activities that they do, and you live the lives that they live, however it may be, if you do that, you will get exactly what you want. And that's being wealthy. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but there's this thing called zero-based thinking. It's when you sit there and you truly, I mean, if you can't do it yourself, if you can't be honest with yourself, ask a close loved one that really, truly knows you. But find out what's not working and what's working, and just completely get rid of the bad, keep the good, and then just focus on that one thing and just keep smashing away at it until you finally get there. Zero-based thinking is honestly how most wealthy people become wealthy. So find what you love, find what's not working for you, I mean, you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with. So with that being said, look around the room. If you're watching this video with all of your friends, look around at each other. If one of you doesn't want to be any of what the other guys are or girls are, get the hell out of the room, run and find new friends that are better than you. You want people in your life that are killing it, you know what I mean? That are doing the things you want to be doing. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would have nothing but friends. Actually, I mean, I can honestly say that. Well, as soon as the pandemic's over, I will be surrounding myself by nothing but people that are better than me. Honestly, might even look down to me from how low I am. But by being around them, that's all it'll do is bring me up, make me strive for more. You know what I mean? We're animals by nature. We're just competitive. And honestly, just being in the presence of wealth and power or something that is better or greater than you, it radiates off to you. It's almost contagious. You start picking up their trades and maybe start going to the gym more. Maybe you start whatever, investing in the stock market or buying real estate or whatever, being better to your loved ones. I mean, whatever it may be, you are the sum total of the 5 people you hang out around with. And honestly, you can, whatever, if you don't got a lot of friends, pick up 5 books. read those 5 books, and honestly, if you make them a part of your daily life, right? Read every single day or whatever. I love Audible. Audible is a phenomenal thing. It has changed my life drastically. I mean, there's one point where I read 60 books in whatever, a 6-month span, but that was, I mean, I was forced to, kind of. But either way, if you don't have a lot of friends, find 5 people you want to be like, find their books, and read one every day. And it's the same exact thing. Okay, so now after you've made a budget, you've gotten yourself out of debt, there's information. I mean, honestly, just because you have someone on your credit score doesn't mean it can't be negotiated off. Debt collectors pay 10 cents on the dollar for those debts most of the times, unless I think it's medical, and you can buy that for just a bit above 10 cents on the dollar. So your $1,000 bill, you can buy it for whatever, $150. You can pay it off one time, and that'll fix your credit. But if you are doing all of those things I talked about, and something I preach all the time, doing those daily actions, whatever it may be, no matter how big, no matter how small, you will get yourself to where your dreams are. But after you've done all those things, right, budgeted, got yourself out of debt, living below your means, now you have a little extra money, right? It's good to have, whatever they say, you should have 3 months of your bills in the bank. Okay, so say you have that now. What do you do with it, right? It's just sitting there. You're not going to gain any interest because inflation's massive. So you invest your money. You invest it in whatever you can. Now, an investment is only an investment if you do it intelligently. There is such thing as people that put money in the stock market, but they're not considered investors because they are just throwing money into just emptiness and praying it's going to happen. I mean, there's Robinhood, honestly, which I have found has been tremendous. They give you real phenomenal information on stocks and statistics. I mean, it's the millennial or the younger generation's version of some of the bigger brokerages or apps you can buy as far as that's all concerned. And honestly, I was mind blown. When I first got into it, I think at first I had like 45 bucks in there for like a year or 2 or something stupid, right? Did nothing with it, not even thought about it. And then I started getting multiple sources of income, fixing my credit. Next thing you know, I had a little extra money. And what did I do with it? I put it into Robinhood, and honestly, the returns I had and the feeling it had, like, it was just phenomenal watching it and checking out daily. And it made me feel good, right? Because now I'm an investor, and it just, whatever, the things we do in private will truly show off in the public. I mean, the thing you do behind doors, you're investing and you're budgeting and you're paying off your debt and doing all those things will show in the public. When you walk outside your house and you're happy and you're finally starting to get ahead of things, right? And your dreams are actually starting to feel like reality. I mean, there's the longest time where I was doing all of these things, right? And the hardest thing for me to do was to realize that it was just not going to happen overnight, right? Because I'm American. Americans are brought up to just instant gratification. If we don't get it right now, we don't want it. It's not that easy. That was one of the hardest things. And obviously I still struggle with now. Like, I want things right now that I just don't have, but eventually, right, I started doing things daily. I got out of debt. I started investing. I started getting multiple sources of income. I started working on talents. I started taking editing courses and reading more books and things that would benefit my dreams. I mean, I mean, it was probably since grade school since I read a fictional book. So all my books that I read are self-benefiting me. I mean, it's about business and how to edit better and how to do all of this better. I mean, self-education and self-betterment is the most pivotal part of it all. I mean, we only live once. We only get one shot at it. Why not give it your all? I get it's going to be hard, painful. It may even suck to hear some of the news. I mean, honestly, I didn't even want to look at my credit score at one point because I was ashamed. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, your credit score is huge. I mean, If you think that your credit score is not a big deal, you are very naive, because if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, if you want, yeah, there's just 1,000 different reasons why your credit score is absolutely huge. But yeah, if you want to get anywhere further in life, you need to understand it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be painful. It's going to be a long journey. And in the beginning, it's probably not going to feel comfortable, right? Because you're going to, instead of going to hang out with your friends or going partying and doing whatever else, you're going to be sitting at home reading books. Or, I love Audible, honestly. I just love plugging it in, or before going to bed, I put it on for like 20 minutes on sleep timer. Or I listen to it in the car. I mean, it's phenomenal. They say if you listen for a half hour before, like whatever, your half-hour ride to work, if you drive that far, and your half-hour ride back, it's like getting an advanced degree in whatever you're studying on. I mean, you don't have to go to college to become great. So just do everything I said, and understand it will not be easy. You will struggle. You will get pissed off. You will be angry at the world, and you will feel like it is impossible and it's never going to happen. But honestly, if you inch at it every single day, do an action every single day, you will get there. For me personally, what made me feel safe, and honestly was the biggest factor in saving me, especially during this pandemic, was multiple sources of income, right? So currently I have 3, 4, 5 different sources of income, maybe a little bit more. That's the true definition of entrepreneur, is having multitudes of income. And it can, whatever, if you clock in your 9 to 5 or whatever your job is, and then after that you go do whatever else, like whatever you currently do as a job, try and take those traits and put it into something else. Or your passion, whatever your passion may be, take that. And there's ways to make money around it, and use those things. You need multiple sources of income to barricade yourself from harm and just depression and just all the bad things that can come from bad finances. Honestly, if I didn't have all the source of income I had, I would have to sacrifice so many things on a regular basis, and then because of that, I would be depressed, upset, sad, have anxiety, be in a frantic state, right? Life's true struggle is maintaining your emotions at a certain level, or whatever it may be, as long as you possibly can. And then when you have those hard days, try still. I mean, yeah, there's days where I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to shoot a YouTube video, I just don't want to do anything because I am beat, right? But just try and do a little something on those days too. But you want to have multiple sources of income. It'll protect you from everything, right? Your job has layoffs, right? But you got 3 other side hustles going on. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, so for me, it's real estate, YouTube, real estate photography, and videography, creating demos for them, and so much more. And it's crucial. It has kept me comfortable throughout this whole entire pandemic. Because like with the pandemic, right? The reason why Donald Trump pushed things down, or whatever, didn't tell us the honest to God truth, is he was afraid to create panic. Because honestly, panic can be worse than anything else. When I'm in a tough situation, before I had multiple sources of income, whatever, say I lost a job or something bad happened, I would panic, right? And when you're panicking, you're not clear-minded, you're just not in the right state of mind to further your ambitions or your goals and dreams, because you're in this panic state and you're just on the defense the whole entire time. So try and get as many sources of income. Get creative. I mean, if it's selling small things, I mean, if you Google YouTube how to make $500 or how to make money this month, there will be 1,000 different videos of ways that you can make money with nothing. I mean, you could start a Teespring shirt or Teespring, and then you just talk about it with your friends and talk about it, whatever. Maybe pay for a little $5, $10 ad on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it may be. And then you maybe even make videos about it. I mean, we live in an informational age. If you can't find another way to make an alternative source of income, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, you do a current day job, right? You could do that for yourself somewhere else on the side, right? Even if it's freelancing it or whatever it may be. And that's another source of income, right? Because what if your company gets under? I mean, my mom was at a job for 25 years and all of a sudden the company got bought out, laid everybody off, right? Just whole life changed. You're 50, 60, 45, whatever age you are. You're a lot older at this point, right? A lot of people trust in the idea that, this old idea that it's pretty much dead. You can't just stay at a company. I mean, honestly, you can't stay at a company for 25 years and expect that they're just going to keep you because out of some form of loyalty, because they have no loyalty to you. Your own loyalty should be to yourself. Think about it. I mean, honestly, you need to find other sources of income to protect yourself. I mean, I've already probably talked too much about the subject, but I just can't say it enough. The more source of income you have, the better off you'll be, the safer you'll be, the less state of panic you'll be in, and the more offense you'll be playing rather than defense. Must versus want. Honestly, I wasted 10 years of my life and it could have gone on for far longer. I could have wasted my whole entire life, but things got so bad that it became a must. It wasn't just something I wanted to have, or, I mean, like, we all want to be rich, we all want to be successful, we all want some sort of fame or whatever it may be. We all have wants, right? But it's not until things are a must that we actually go after them. I mean, or the pain and the anguish and the suffering and the discomfort becomes so bad that you're forced to change and develop and grow into whatever it is that has caused you all this pain. I mean, I couldn't tell how many times I have repeated a bad action over and over and over and over and over again, and it wasn't until it was so painful and brutal and discomforting and so hard hitting on my life that it nearly broke me until I changed. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And the last thing I want to say is motivation versus commitment. Motivation is what gets the party started, right? But it's like going to the gym, right? You go for a couple days, right? You're super motivated. You just watch this TV show or whatever it may be, and you're pumped, right? You're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna get huge, you're gonna get in such great shape, right? And then 2 or 3 days later, and you don't realize you're not huge yet, right? And because we're Americans, you just think, oh, it's not worth it, right? I went 2 days and I'm not 20 pounds lighter, or I didn't put on 30 pounds of muscle. I'm just gonna give up. So that's the difference. I mean, yes, motivation is great at first, and you will lose motivation all the time. I mean, I lose motivation on a daily basis, but I'm committed. I am determined and committed. It has been so painful and grueling. Now it's an absolute must. The success and the failure in life comes down to the amount of uncomfortable conversations you're willing to have. Honestly, the most important, one of the biggest things I learned was I need to learn to become uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. Honestly, what you fear is typically the things you need to pursue. But with all that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. Honestly, the channel is growing and thriving so fast, and honestly, the feeling it gives me, honestly, like to finally be here, right? To finally get to this point, and it's not without you and your love and everybody that's a fan. Honestly, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope all of you become the best version of you and live every single dream that you want to live. But don't forget to give one of these, subscribe, see every single week, Hope everybody's safe and sound, and let's get to this pandemic.
I gotta save me from myself. This emptiness, it hurts like hell. My good intentions let me